Eagles are coached by Matt Troy, assistant coach of Caitlin. Now Knights, make some noise for your 2016 volleyball starter. Starting at number 3, Ryan Lubinski. Number 6, Emma Evans. Number 7, Valerie Beatty. Number 12, Allison D. Number 13, Penny Quinn. Number 15, Hannah Oliver. And at Liberio, number 11, Hannah Hoser. The notes are coached by Nicole Quinn and assistant coach Tom Stelton. Thank you for work the pro side.
That's as far as it zooms. Yep. Don't zoom in on the photos like that.
That's right for your Knights, number 13. Two to the Eagles and the 12 to Red Howard. $14.50.
Hey, good save. Good save. Next time. Next time. What? Ball?
The Knights have a shot here in this first set, but really it's crunch time for them in this first set.
Well, and they need to really receive serve well right now. Got to be able to get a pass up so they can have a chance. Numbers have dropped a little bit since the last time we talked. It was 250. They were hitting about 250. Now they're hitting only 179.
So the Eagles getting ready to serve here. Powers serving. Served by Powers, returned by the Knights. Setting up for Tiggs, and she gets it.
Great
Tiggs
job by Tiggs.
Big shot there to make it 21-19. They really needed that point.
Well, she had enough power on it to get it through the block that time, which is what the Knights needed.
And now the Knights will serve. It'll be Hosier. 21-19 is your score. Eagles trying to go sideways on the net to no avail. Another kill shot attempt is long. It's suddenly 21-20. And so the Knights, Hosier serving, only down by one now. It's a little 2-0 run here by the Knights after they fell behind by 3.
And you have to wonder if the Eagles have played in tight games before and if this is going to bother them.
Dubinsky almost had the kill. Now the Knights really have to get that across the net. They do. Mary Washington setting up for a slam. Great save by the Knights by Beatty. And Tiggs gets it across. Eagles with a kill shot. It's too far. Knights have tied it at 21.
And Hendricks, who is leading them in kills, not having a great set and is replaced now by number 15, Rachel Vocatatis.
And it's 21-21, all tied here. Big point here. Mary Washington with a slam that Beatty just was lucky it didn't hit her right in the head. I mean, there was nothing she could. Was really.
Blocked.
22-21 now. 1 point lead for Mary Washington. Allred trying to get the close shot. She does. We're tied again at 22.
And you asked earlier, how long can a match go? Well, we can keep going as long as someone doesn't win by 2. We can go to 30-30.
Somebody trying to get to 23 right now. losing that first set. Knights came in with a 3-9 record. And we are ready to go here in set number 2. And win or lose, Mike, tonight, well, I know we talked about this before the match actually started, is if you end up getting the upset victory tonight if you're the Knights, you got to obviously maintain your head because Christopher Newport's coming in here on Friday. And if you lose to Christopher Newport on Friday, that's just the top 2 teams potentially in the Capital Conference. Still a lot of action left in conference action still to come.
Yeah, but again, if you have to defend your home court better than anybody else, and we know Mary Washington with their record is going to be one of the top teams. We know CNU with their record is going to be one of the top teams. You don't want to give anybody else a chance to steal a game from you when you're on the road. So if they can take care of the stuff here, that puts them just really in the driver's seat.
Crockett serving to start the second set. And Mary Washington trying to get a kill shot right off the bat. Gwynn returns it. There's Allred with a save, a dig, and Mary Washington blocks it back the other way for the point. Quick substitution by the Knights. Beatty checks in, and Crockett is out.
Well, both teams start with their lineup that they ended with out there on the floor, and right now everybody's back to normal. Crockett started for Beatty in that second set.
So serving, Beatty setting up. Gwynn blocked again by Savannah Powers. 2-0, Mary Washington.
And being a former coach, Jim, I'm very superstitious. It might be one of those, this side's better than that side, right? Just being on the physical side.
So serving Hosier, Beatty setting up. Gwynn again, smacks it too far. 3-0, Mary Washington.
And this isn't the start that the Knights envisioned after that last set.
Kind of reminiscent of the start we saw on Tuesday against Eastern Mennonite. So serving again. Knights trying to get on the board here at set number 2. Allred with a little tip. Eagles. Third kill shot blocked by Hosier. Evans tips it back over. Good save by the Knights. Gwynn, her kill shot returned by Mary Washington. Blocked by Allred, or make that Evans. And the shot by the Knights is returned eventually by Gwynn and rammed home by Emma Evans as Mary Washington put it up there, Mike, on a single hit, and Evans was able to clean it up to give the Knights their first point of the second set.
Well, again, Evans, anytime you're a middle blocker and you see a ball right there on the net with no one in front of you, your eyes get big, and she took care of it.
A little gift there. Little tip shot by the Eagles. Knights right there, Allred. Blocked by Mary Washington. They set up for the kill shot and get it. And that is Skylar Sisk getting the kill to make it 4-1. Mary Washington, a 3-point lead now.
Both teams are really going with a lot of off-speed shots to the middle of the floor. The defense is going to have to make some adjustments if they want to clean that up.
Eagles serving with a 4-1 lead here in set number 2. Sisk serving. Beatty sets up. Tiggs. And the point goes to the Knights.
As we saw the now in the net.
4-2. Well, the Knights could put a little run here, take the lead, get a little cushion, maybe have the Eagles really thinking about it. And a good kill shot there by Mary Washington. That was Leslie Walters, a 5'11 sophomore from Palmyra, Virginia. And she makes it 5-2.
Well, one thing we know about volleyball, it's a game of runs. You just have to manage those runs.
Beatty, another setup, but it's to the net. Allred tips it over.
Oh, and they're going to have Allred into the net.
Yeah, that almost had to be into the net because Beatty's setup was just very close to the net. Very tough for Allred to get there. 6-2 now.
A little bit low for
Service by the Eagles. Beatty setting up this time. Good kill shot, but it apparently out of bounds, and the Eagles will get the point as Tiggs couldn't get it to go home. It's 7-2 now. Mary Washington suddenly a 5-point leader in the second set.
Well, this is reversal of fortunes because this was the same score in the first set.
And double hit by the Knights there as Power is returning, and she kind of set up the Eagles kind of like Evans with her shot just a few minutes ago. And now it's 8-2 Mary Washington, and a timeout on the court as the Knights, who took set one, now are down by 6 points here, Mike, in set number 2.
Yeah, and again, it's back to what we saw against the Royals, a slow start for the Knights. You can't afford to do that, though, against teams like Mary Washington and CNU and Salisbury, who we'll see later on. Got to be able to start out fast and not let these teams build the 6-point lead, because it's really hard to come back against that.
You know, and it's very difficult, Mike, to make a comeback. I would imagine when you're facing a quality team like Mary Washington, you fall behind by 6 points. Now, the good news is it's early here in the second set, but still, I would imagine it's been very tough for opponents this season to come back from Mary Washington in any set when Mary Washington's got a 6-point lead.
Oh, exactly, and they really have shown over the season that they know how to close out sets, and so when they get you down, they don't let up. They try to add on to the points.
So Savannah Powers will serve.
Oh, and out of rotation, and that's just a mental mistake on the libero by the Eagles.
So it's 8-3 now. And Hartle will serve here for the Knights. Nice stop there by Hosier. Dubinsky gets it over. Mary Washington trying to get the kill. Beatty right up there. Double hit. And
they're going to have Beatty in the net.
Yep. Went too far. Point goes to the Eagles to make it. The Eagles still on top here in set number 2. Very close there, Mike.
Yeah, but anytime you have a setter going up against a middle blocker and the ball goes down on the ground, you got to almost want to look the other way if she touches the net a little bit.
So Deneau will now serve here for the Eagles in this 8-4 game. Gwynn gets it over to Beatty. She'll get it back across. And the service, the kill shot by Leslie Walters, able to get free in the middle part of the Southern Virginia court. And now suddenly the Knights are trailing here by a score of 10-3 here in set number 2. Fell behind 8-2, took a timeout, now down by 7.
Well, and what we see is a reversal of fortunes on the hitting percentage. Mary Washington's hitting over 300. The Knights a negative 231.
Allred with a kill shot. Returned by Mary Washington, blocked by the Knights. They get a point, make it 10-4. Well, here is where the Knights really could use a 4 or 5 point run.
Well, again, it's all about managing runs, and if you're the Knights, you're looking for that 4 or 5 point run.
Spike by Mary Washington. Knights get it back across, thanks largely to the ceiling, Mike. That kept that one from going further, and that one unable to stop it is Allred. It's 11-4.
Well, you saw Hosier being able to play it off the ceiling. She understands the little nuances. It's almost like Wrigley Field here.
And without question, if that had been a bigger ceiling, there's no way the Knights could have returned that. So now it's 11-4. And service by Walters. Knights down by 7, trying to make a charge here as Gwynn gets the shot across. Mary Washington gets it back over. Now it's Gwynn again. Kill shot. Held onto by Mary Washington. Eagles can't get it across with a kill. Gwynn again, and she gets the point.
And Penny really needs to be able to hit that shot just a little bit higher, because once they set that block and they know that you're coming to the outside, you've got to play it off the top of the fingers so it bounces and goes out of bounds over the end line.
And so the Knights now down by 6, 11-5. Dubinsky serving. Gwynn right there for the spike. And Mary Washington gives up the point as Gwynn was in perfect shape for that kill, Mike. and she took advantage of it.
Yeah, anytime an overpass comes and you're a hitter, you really start salivating.
11-6. Blocked by Allred, or make that Evans. Beatty with the setup for Gwynn, and it's too far.
And you saw there as Penny landed, she was already walking backwards, so just a poor execution all the way around.
12-6, Mary Washington on top here in set number 2. The Knights won the opening set. Best of 5 here in this match between Mary Washington and the Knights. Blocked by Mary Washington at the net. They get the point and now expand their lead.
Well, again, a lot of runs going on here. You see the Eagles change out balls. It's getting a little humid in here now.
Olsen with the serve. Knights try to get the kill. They do.
And that's one of the first.
Again.
That's one of the first slides that we've seen this season that the Knights run. Again, I've been asking myself constantly, why don't we do a little bit more movement? We want some slides or have a little bit more X plays happening.
Kind of take the opposition a little off guard, maybe.
Yeah. Again, it gets the blockers moving too. They can't just stand there and set up.
Crockett with the serve. Knights down by 6 now, 13-7. Knights get it back across after the kill attempt by Mary Washington.
Back row attack as Olsen was over the top of the net and she's in a back row player.
And the Knights get a point. Couple points in a row now for Southern Virginia. The Knights trying to make a run here, down by 5 in set number 2. Crockett serve. Little tip by Mary Washington. They get a gift and they ram it home as that was Savannah Powers. And now the Knights are again down by 6, Mike, 14-8.
Yeah, anytime there's an overpass, that's just almost a automatic kill for a front row player.
And when you have that situation occurring, that shows why it's very difficult to make a run when you're down by 6.
Yeah, you never want to be down more than about 4 points. So when you get a deficit of 6, you can afford to make mistakes if you're up.
So serving, Knights get it across. Gwynn's shot is blocked. Tig, no way she could do anything with that after the block by Mary Washington. And now the Eagles are on top here by 7 and 15-8.
No, that was a straight down stuffed block. No doubt about it.
Cho serving again with a 7-point lead for the Eagles. Beatty trying to set someone up. Hosier will get it back across. Eagles slam it home again, and that was Skylar Sisk, a 5'11 freshman from Gainesville, Virginia, making it 16-8 Eagles. Well,
and unfortunately for the Knights, the Eagles are starting to find some rhythm now on the offensive side, which they haven't had in the first set and a half.
So serving. It's going to be Gwynn, and she gets it home. Gwynn with a good kill shot to make it 16-9. You mentioned, Mike, trouble is you're down by 7. Very tough to make a run down by 7 here in set number 2.
Yeah, we're playing a good team. They're only going to allow about 3 or 4 points.
Good service. Out of bounds. Knights get the point, 16-10. Mary Washington maybe not prepared for that soft serve.
Well, and that's the second time in a row Gwynn has taken a little bit off of it, her hit, and on her attack and on that serve.
Eagles get the kill, blocked by the Knights, set up. And point goes to Mary Washington. What are they going to call a double hit on Allred maybe?
Yeah, she had on her set, she just couldn't get the hands together.
17-10. Back to a 7-point lead for the Eagles now here in set 2. Skylar Sisk serving for the Eagles. Beatty with the setup for Allred. Nice tip shot. Eagles trying to get it back across, and they will not do so, 17-11.
Again, sometimes little mishits are things that are going to get you the points. Again, now we've got Hosier back on the line. She's served about 5 points in a row in the last set. We have to see if she can do the same thing in this set now.
Eagles with a great kill shot there by Leslie Walters. Went up like she was going to ram it home, and then just a little tip and found an open area of the court to make it 18-11.
Again, a lot of off-speed shots, and we're seeing the middle of the floor right about 4 foot behind the attack line being the soft spot in both defenses.
This kill shot is put home by Tiggs.
I think they called it out of bounds.
Yeah, the point goes to Mary Washington. And suddenly the Eagles are on top here now, big time in there in set 2 with an 8-point lead.
And boy, when the wheels fall off, they fall off quickly, don't they? The great thing is, if the Knights lose this set, it's still tied.
Allred gets the point, 19-12. Even if you can't make the comeback here in set 2, Mike, you really want to build momentum for set 3.
Either that or you want to go ahead and get the set over with quickly so you forget about it and move on to the next one. Tied 1-1. Again, because you're at home, the tied 1-1 really is in your favor.
Of course, going back to yesterday, the Knights had a 24-14 lead, and EMU, I think they cut it to 7 straight points?
Yeah, 7 straight points.
So it's possible. Just wonder if an opponent of quality like Mary Washington is capable of allowing 7 straight points. Tipped, Allred, gets it over to Beatty, back to Allred. Blocked by Allred. And double hit, and Allred gets it over.
Well,
That's just very athletic Allred doing her job at the net.
Well, again, a joust there at the net. You had the setter against the outside hitter.
Yeah. And
we talked yesterday about how physical Allred is, and that's going to be a joust that she'll win just about 100% of the time.
19-13. Knights with a good return. A dig on that kill shot by Mary Washington. Another attempt by Deneau. She got that one home. You know, I know Hendricks and Powers have been really looked upon as the top kill artists for Mary Washington, but this freshman Deneau looks pretty good here in the opening few sets.
Well, she stepped up because the other two are really struggling tonight, and they're looking to her more and more and more.
20-13. And Beatty can't get there to get the return. It hit the court, and it's 21-13 now, Eagles. And so now the Knights are trailing by 8. Service by Deneau. Beatty sets up Allred. That shot too far. 22-13.
That set just brought Allred just too far off the net. She was making her approach and tried to curl it back in. And anytime a hitter has to reach back behind them, we're going to see the ball go sailing out of bounds unless the hitter just rolls it.
Or gets a little tip here, I guess.
Well, yeah, and that's something that the hitters have to work on in practice is changing their mind right in the middle of a swing, understanding that if they're reaching back, I can't make the shot. I'm going to have to take some speed off of it.
Yeah, that's the most amazing thing is when these players go up for kill shots, do they have in mind ahead of time what they want to do, or is it just all a judgment call basically in the last split second?
Well, they have in mind what they would like to do because everyone wants to hit the ball hard.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to be doing is, as they're watching the ball come in, use their peripheral vision, see where the block is. If the block's solid, go high hands or off the hands out of bounds or roll shot it over. If the block split, go through it. So that's a lot of training, vision training that the players have to do.
So following the timeout, Mary Washington owns a 9-point lead here after falling in set 1.
We'll have a replay as the referees didn't beckon the play.
So they'll reserve. Mary Washington will with Deneau serving.
Just a little freshman mistake there, right?
At least it didn't cost her to the serve, though. Allred. Kill shot returned by Mary Washington. Blocked by Allred for the point. She was able to block Leslie Walters at the net to make it 22-14.
Well, and again, you can, as they were standing there side by side, you can see just the difference between Walters, who's listed as one of the middle hitters, and then Allred, who's listed as an outside hitter. You see just the difference height-wise and shoulder width-wise.
Yeah, if you look at the roster, now Allred's 6 foot and Walters 5'11", so you're only talking an inch. But maybe
there's some muscle. There's more muscle on Allred than there was on Walters. I mean, you can see a little bit of disparity there.
It's not always height.
It's not always height. And again, when you look at volleyball players, you really look at the width of the shoulders, because if you have a volleyball player that has wide shoulders, you know they're going to be very physical at the net. and not let anybody push him around. That time when Allred went up, when she pressed across the net, there was no way the ball was going to go anywhere but down.
And I'm not really sure when you look at Mary Washington's roster if they have anybody out there who can compete with Allred. I mean, 100% of the time. It was 22-14.
Not on if we're looking at a purely physical basis.
Yeah, Allred with the serve. Knights down by 8 here in set 2. Allred couldn't stop that. Kill shot by Rachel Hendricks, and now Mary Washington just 2 points away from winning this set.
Well, here's what you worry about with Hannah. She is such a physical player that as a match goes further and further into set 4, maybe 5, she starts to run out of energy.
Good point. Here comes the serve by the Eagles, needing just 2 points for the set victory. And Beatty found an opening to make it 23-15.
Well, and that's one of the ones that the pass was right to where Valerie wanted it, but she was able to use her peripheral vision, see the whole defense suck up to the net, and was just smart enough to go up and put it to the back corner.
Dubinsky serving now for the Knights. Eagles not able to
and
make that
miscommunication there by the Eagles, and again, the Knights have to make sure they take advantage of these errors that the Eagles make.
Yeah, it looked like they were aiming for Sisk, although perhaps Powers thought she was going to get it. Dubinsky serving. Lead is 7 right now. Knights stop the kill shot, but can't get it across the net. And now it's 24-16.
You know, and before the game, I saw the referees checking out our net. It's not as tight as a lot of people would like. If it was tighter, that ball would have bounced out and Valerie could have got it up.
Beatty setting up Allred. Eagles trying to win the set right here with a point. Allred returns over to Gwynn. Saved by the Eagles. Tap back by the Knights. Mary Washington gets it over. Beatty to Allred. Oh, what a shot by Allred. Found an opening in the middle.
And again, just that soft roll shot. Both teams are having a real tough time defending it.
24-17. So Mary Washington still needs just a point. Knights down by 7. Service by the Knights. Eagles find an opening, but it's out.
No, it hit the back line.
It did get in. And Mary Washington does get the victory as Powers just was able to sneak that in before the back line, Mike.
And unfortunately, again, the Knights got caught too much coming up to the net. The Eagles were able to just set it across, find that back line. What's had to be really concerned about if you're Coach Gwynn is the way they started that set. You can't get down 7-2 against a quality team.
So the Knights are down here and set 2, and we're all even at 1. So we've got a little timeout here on the court between set 2 and set 3. Again, the Knights took set 1 in extra points, and then of course in set 2 it was all Mary Washington, 25-17. So we'll go into set 3 all even at a set for each team. 1 set for Southern Virginia, 1 set for Mary Washington. Jim Bresnahan, Mike Harmon here at the Knight Sports Arena. As we have a few minutes before set 3 comes up, we'll take a little break here from the Knight Sports Arena.
Season stats that are sortable on tabs too.
I mean,
Are you guys the ones taking the lead and printing all that out on your own? Would it help if I did it for you?
I don't know.
Because ideally, what I could do is, if you guys want, I could have clipboards or binders ready with all this information already in it, so you guys can either click through it or have it in a clipboard, whatever you guys want.
I don't know.
What do you think, Jim?
I print it out so I can look at it before I come over.
Okay.
Because we write little things like, I mean, there's some of the stuff we talk about in the opening stuff, so we're looking at that and then try to go through some of the pronunciations before, like, there's some teams that have, everybody's got some type of Eastern European name, so you're sitting there going, Stalana Bakovic or whatever. So, I mean, if you want, print them out. I think this set, which is a little bit too much because we can't get into all that. Just the overall season stats, I think Nick printed out. But like I said, I usually just do this. Go to the website, and then they have sortable stats. So if we want to know, okay, who's their assist leader, we're talking about it, we go, oh, okay, well, the assist leader is going to probably be Olsen. Yeah, it is, and she has about 540 assists per game in the season, 9.7%. So the sortable stats for both teams is really a whole lot easier than us going like this, because this isn't in one area.
This is yours, you bring it? Jim, would it help you if you had a computer that you could sift through, or do you not have a
I think one's fine.
One's fine?
Now, if you wanted to give us a Surface Pro that we could both use, you know.
No, the stats, the in-game stats is good.
I'm not sure what the budget is yet, but I'm looking into the new tech and stuff like that to get set up. Like Surface Pros, even eventually having a monitor with replay capabilities where you guys can talk about certain plays.
Well, I know that last year Craig had it set up they could do replays. It's harder in like basketball and volleyball because the action happens so fast.
Replays for anything but football.
Football, it's easy to use replay because you almost have a timeout in between each play. But unless you have, there's a software that you can get that actually breaks each play down for you, so it'll start the play and at the end of the play it just marks it. Then you can replay that in faster games. But that's technology that
All right. Well, what I'll do
is a wish list.
just in case you guys need it from now on, what I'll do is I'll have binders here waiting for you. Would you prefer a binder or clipboard?
I don't know. I usually bring it in my little handy dandy folder.
So I'll bring them both.
As long as we have room to spread out stuff, we're good.
I'll have them just set out for you. Bring whatever you want, but I'll probably have all this information ready for you and stacked up. Pronunciation guys, roster, season stats. You have the computer. I'm just gonna try to make it as clean and just prepare you guys as best as I can.
No problem. Yeah, and if they want it really good, those Surface Pros would be great for us to be able to do stuff. I'm just kidding.
Surface Pro?
Yeah.
I'll be looking into all that kind of stuff.
And the only other thing is like the stats right now. If we could get this in between each set. Yeah, because on the live stats, it only shows you the kills and the attempts for each set, but the team comparison, it's a overall. All right, so we can talk about the first set and not have to have any stats because that's brand new, but when we get to after set 2, then we don't know what did they hit in set 2, how many errors did they have in set 2 and stuff. So it's just having these stats in between each set.
Guys, Josh just told me the scoreboard went down, so it'd be good to announce the score from time to time.
Okay. I think Jim's been doing it, and we'll keep on going.
Okay. I can do that. Cool. You guys, I mean, I'll be looking into like broadcasting rotations too for each sport who's going to be here. Have they so far typically just been having you guys for every game? Are you available every game? Or
We've done a few games, yeah.
say what?
I've only done 2 games, so.
You've only done 2 games? Because especially for volleyball, since men and women are separate seasons, you guys can't be there every game. I've also thought about looking into having some good men to go about volleyball.
you only pick like 4 or 5 games if you want to look at, and not every home game.
Cool. Well, I'll look into that too. But thanks, that's good. That's good info.
The only thing about having a monitor here would be if we have to watch what is streaming, it's like 10 seconds behind. So like when we're up in the shed up there, I don't know. No. Because we want to talk about what's happening here and not have to go like this and then see out our peripheral vision what's going on and then you get lost. Like up in the shed, like when we're doing soccer and football, the monitor is live. And then it gets fed into YouTube.
I can look into that. So that whether we were getting it's not it's online, but it's a lot of fun.
But we're so close to action, it really doesn't matter that much here.
Yeah, I can really see the live monitor being really good fun.
If that would,
Because that would take some coordination too.
A lot of coordination.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I plan on looking into that. Also probably visiting some schools to see how they do it before we get into that. But just so you guys know, those are capabilities.
Division 3, you're not going to find a lot of schools doing half of what you do.
That's why we got to stay ahead.
Like Salisbury, I was telling Jim, for like women's basketball, they show one camera angle. It's way back up in the rafters. They show the whole court, and everybody's this big, and sometimes they don't have an answer.
I've got ideas. I mean,
About who I would talk to would be CNU.
well, I plan on going up past Division 3 too, talking to some of the bigger schools. Because big
BMI has some great people over there.
I'll talk to them.
I know for their football, I worked a game for them for football, and they did a lot of fun stuff.
That's a good reference.
And Daniel, what's Daniel's last name? I guess when it goes off, it's like every time. But the sports information director used to be here. He's over at BMI now as an assistant. And he's in charge of some things. Daniel Whiteman. He's a member. I can give you his email address and you can ask him. He'll show you all the stuff they got.
Awesome. That's a good reference.
Jim Bresnahan, Mike Harmon again here at the Knight Sports Arena, getting ready for set number 3 after Mary Washington convincingly took set 2 25-17. Of course, in the opening set, it was Mary Washington falling to SVU 25-27. So split sets. We're heading into the third set of the best-of-5 match here, Mike. And what really stands out as far as the stats are concerned?
Well, the hitting percentage by both teams in the first set, Mary Washington only hit .098. In the second set, 243. The Knights, on the other hand, in the first set, 220. That's why they won.
Yep.
But in the second set, negative .026, and that just will not win you any sets.
Kills, Allred and Gwynn each with 7. And we mentioned Peyton Deneau, the freshman from Mary Washington, leading Mary Washington in kills with 8 in that first couple of sets.
Well, also, if we look at the digs, Hannah Hosier, 15 digs, and doing just yeoman's work on the back line. A lot of block attempts by the Knights, but again, just the second set when they started out down 7-2, that would just put too much pressure on them to make any inroads.
Beatty and Olsen really doing the job for each team for assists. Beatty with 18. Olsen had 21 in the first couple of sets. You mentioned, though, Hannah Hosier, 15 digs. And really very busy in the first couple of sets as the Knights trying to get on the board here early on in this set 3. Point goes to Mary Washington.
And just not able to get the ball over there. Already got her hands too much underneath for the lift.
And so the Eagles quickly on top here in set 3, 1-0. Allred gets it over. Eagles trying to set it up here. Blocked by the Knights. Blue's going to get it over. Knights finally do get it across. Tip shot for the kill by Mary Washington. The Knights barely able to get that one back across. They do. Blocked by the Knights at the net. Returned by Mary Washington. Oh, what a great play by Tiggs to get it over to Beatty. Long. Nope, the kill shot is in by Rachel Hendricks.
Well, a lot of great play on both sides there.
Tiggs, what amazing to come almost over to press row.
Well, not even that. That wasn't the best.
Yeah.
The first block attempt when she went up and the shot was from the attack line, she had to make sure that she waited long enough to go up for that jump.
Service error by Mary Washington. Haven't seen too many errors like that by the Eagles tonight, and the Knights will take it to make it 2-1 here in set 3. And Mike, I know obviously math-wise, whoever wins this set has a 2-1 lead, only needs one more set for the victory. How important, how crucial is this third set?
Well, it's crucial for both teams. Mary Washington wants to get out of here with the win. The Knights want to make sure that they get the lead back and defend their home court and show that that first set wasn't a fluke.
And they got a block at the net to get the point to make it 2-2. Gwynn serving. Eagles get the kill.
And
that's
one thing that the Knights again need to work on in their offense is getting their middles more involved, because now we're starting to see the block get out there on the outside on Gwynn and on Allred.
3-2 Eagles. Cho serving for Mary Washington. Beatty setting up. Evans, little tip. Eagles, shot is going to be tough to return here. Knights do get it across. Beatty, tipped by the Eagles. And the Knights barely able to survive that point so far. And now a little tip is blocked by Evans. Slammed home by Mary Washington's Peyton Deneau, who continues to have a big night here for the Eagles.
Well, and the big difference on that is the Knights get out of system and they can't work themselves back in because the Eagles keep on putting so much pressure on them.
4-2 Mary Washington here at set 3. Let's get it across, but don't get the opportunity for a kill shot. And Mary Washington with a little tip at the net. The Knights a little confused right now. Get it across. Good save there by Beatty. Allred with the spike. Returned by Mary Washington. It's Deneau, and she was able to get it across, but not get the point.
Yeah, hits the ball into the antenna there, and great ping pong defense that the Knights are playing, just getting ball up after ball up after ball up.
Hosier will serve for the Knights, who are only trailed by 1 here in set 3. Or set 3. And here comes the tip over by Mary Washington. Now the Knights will try to set it up for Gwynn. And she gets it. Or make that Tiggs. Tiggs with the spike gets the point. We're all tied at 4 now.
Again, the Knights have gone so much to the outside to Gwynn and to Allred. They need to start featuring a little bit more of Tiggs and get the middles involved.
There's Deneau again. She gets the point on the slam. 5-4 Mary Washington. This has been tight for the most part all night long, even though Mary Washington was able to win that second set by 8. Service by the Eagles. Beatty setting up Tiggs again for the point.
Well, this is a much better start for the Knights. In the first set, we saw them jump out in the lead, win that set. Second set, we saw them down by 5, lose that set. Right now, tied up 5-5. Great position for the Knights.
And Hartle will come into the game to serve. All tied here at 5. Deneau with her right hand getting it across, and Allred tries for the slam. Returned by Mary Washington. Could it be Allred again? And she gets the point. Just nothing Cho could do about that shot.
No, that hit the floor before it got to her. And again, Allred's starting to find a little bit of chinks in the block.
Hartle again serving 6-5. Knights on top, and there is a service error.
And if you're going to beat the number 17 team in the nation, those are errors that you cannot afford to make. I understand the philosophy of let's serve tough, but let's serve tough and keep it in.
Got to put it in play. 6-6 now. See who the Knights go to. They go to Allred for a little tip. Eagles ready for it that time. Hartle to Beatty. All red. Mary Washington can't return it. So a little indecisive. Late getting here, I think. It's 7-6 Knights.
Yeah, there's some indecision between her and Powers. Looks like Powers is going to take it. May have got called off at the last second, and no one got it.
All red serving. 7-6 Southern Virginia. Hartle with a nice dig there. Gwynn gets it over. Danoa again. And the Knights get the point.
Yeah, mishandled on the set.
8-6 Knights here in set 3. Knights hoping for a little run here. Maybe get a little cushion in set 3. Try to pull away. Take a 2-1 lead in sets. All red serving again. Slammed home by Leslie Walters that time to make it 8-7.
Well, there's nothing that the back row could do there. That was just a great connection on a quick set.
Good set.
And anytime you get that great connection on that quick set in the middle, the back row is just at its mercy.
And now Dano will serve for the Eagles in a 1-point game. Beatty setting up Gwynn for the point.
And again, Gwynn just able to punch it off of the player's hands out of bounds. And I think the Knights need to go back to that more and more and more.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, again, it doesn't matter how you get the kill, just as long as you get the kill.
Dubinsky serving with a 2-point lead. Nice save there by Gwynn. Now she'll try for the kill shot and gets it. And the Knights suddenly are on top by 3.
And I love a line shot. A good line shot is so hard to defend.
The freshman Dubinsky with a service error. That's 2 here in this third set for the Knights.
And you can almost feel the air go out when someone hits into the net.
Especially
like that.
When you got a little run going on. Service by Mary Washington. The lead right now 2 for the Knights. Evans gets it over. Mary Washington. Knights will try to get it back. Beatty does. And the Knights can't return that. That was Hartle trying to make the play. As you mentioned, Mike, when you get scrambling like that, it's very tough to recover as a team.
It is, especially when you had to free ball it over and you let the other team set up their free ball offense. That's going to be won by the offense about 80% of the time.
10-9 now. Eagles down by a point serving.
And out of bounds.
Yeah, angling to the right, put it too far. 11-9 Knights, and they'll bring in a couple of substitutions in Tiggs and Crockett. Then Crockett will come in to serve. 11-9 Knights. They've had 2 service errors though here in this third set. Crockett gets that one over at the net. Blocked. Evans can't get it across. It'll be Gwynn for the kill shot. Here comes Hendricks, and she gets the point. Well, there's a reason she's one of their top kill artists, and the junior made a nice play there.
Well, and just we've seen this in the first 2 sets. It seems like the little off-speed shot is producing a whole lot more than an all-out attack.
11-10. Soft serve by Mary Washington, and a block at the net, but it's a point for the Knights.
Blocked it out of bounds, but you have to give that point to Hosier as she came up on that short serve and got it up.
Almost caught the Knights off guard, and Hosier made a play to help them recover as Gwynn serves with a 2-point lead for the Knights. Here's Powers with a slam, and it was blocked apparently by the Knights, for the point goes over to Mary Washington as Claire Hotelli comes into the game with a...
Yeah, the ball went off of Valerie. She's trying to get her hands up to protect her face.
Cho will serve. They had given the point on the scoreboard of the Knights, but it's 12-11, I believe. They'll have to correct the scoreboard. 12-11 is your score right now. The Knights own a 1-point lead here, Mike, in set 3.
Well, again, nice close game, and the Knights, as long as they can keep it close, you can pull out the win at the end in your home gym.
So serving, Knights trying to get Allred set up, and she hits it and gets the point. That's just the power of Allred, overwhelming the Eagle player to make it 13-11.
Well, and that's one of the things that you don't want to do as a player, as we saw Powers do. The block came off of her hands, and instead of her automatically looking which shoulder it came over and looking for the ball, she just dropped automatically, and the ball fell right at her feet.
Hosier serving, 2-point lead for the Knights, 13-11. They took the opening set and lost set 2, trying to make it a 2-1 lead in sets if they can win this set. As Deneau's shot is too far, and it's now a 3-point lead for Southern Virginia.
You know, Jim, and it's starting to look like whoever is on the side that's to our left wins the sets.
Don't know why that is. Crowd support maybe, although they're obviously not, didn't support Mary Washington in set 2. And the Knights not able to recover from that one. Beatty a little late getting there and couldn't return it, 14-12. Knights still have a 2-point lead here in the third set.
And again, we talked about this earlier. There's a game of runs. You just have to manage those runs. So anytime the Knights can get a point, and if they lose a point, just get the side out automatically, everything's good.
Great set by Beatty, setting up Tiggs for the kill shot. It's 15-12, and Beatty kind of faked out, I think, Mary Washington that time. Maybe they thought they were going to go left instead of over to Tiggs on the right.
Well, and I'd like to see our setters do jump setting a little bit more. That freezes the middle blocker so much longer.
Tiggs with a serve. 3-point lead for the Knights. Walters with a tip. Dubinsky to Allred. Nice save there by the Knights. Hosier gets it across. Walters, nice save by the Knights. Tiggs, but couldn't control it, and it goes out of bounds, 15-13.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit more self-preservation than actual planning by Allison Tiggs, but whatever you can do to get the ball up, you do it to get the ball up.
So here's Savannah Powers serving in this 2-point game in set 3. Beatty got it across. Now the Knights will try to set things up for Allred. Tip shot, and it is in. Didn't expect that little soft kill by Allred at 16-13.
And we're starting to see some of the evolution of these outside hitters. They're starting to understand that we don't need to put everything behind the ball that we have every time. Earlier in the season, Allred and Gwynn really going for every kill and putting everything they had into it. Now they're starting to understand, hey, maybe if we just change things up, we'll have a better percentage.
And so the Knights have a 3-point lead. Timeout is taken here by Mary Washington, Mike. So the Knights are recovering nicely from set 2, where they really had a hard time getting into set 2 and ended up losing it by 8 points.
Yeah, and again, it's all due to the start. Whenever the Knights can get a good start, we see great things happen. When they fall behind, the wheels really fall off.
See Beatty on the floor there. You think she maybe got a cramp or something?
It looks like they're trying just to stretch a few things out. Looks like they're checking her knee a little bit just to make sure everything stays in place.
I don't know how often they get a cramp in volleyball, but I would imagine, like any sport, tough to work that out of.
Oh, yeah, once you get a cramp, it doesn't matter what you do. You just move the one way and it comes back. There's not a lot you can do once you get them to get rid of them.
Here comes Allred serving with a 3-point lead for the Knights here in set number 3. Each team winning a set so far. And the Knights trying to build upon a 3-point lead. Allred's service is too far.
Boy, and that's something that you don't want to do coming out of a timeout, is serve the ball out of bounds. Again, we talked about this yesterday, just lollipop it in. Your defense has been playing great.
So the Knights have had a few service errors, that one long and 2 earlier ones into the net. And it's 16-14. Now Deneau will serve for Mary Washington. Deneau, the freshman, who's been very impressive tonight. Here is Gwynn with a serve, or kill shot. Gwynn with a block. Beatty right at the net challenging. Beatty will set up Gwynn, and she tips. but Mary Washington's able to get it back. All right on the back line with the dig. And Dubinsky is blocked in the net and gets the point. And so the Knights are back on top by 3 again, 17-14.
And what we're starting to see is the Knights are bringing their sets off the net a little bit more. That's allowing them to really use the block.
Now Dubinsky serving. And that one, a power shot by the Eagles to make it 17-15 as Walters nails it home. Anyone's set right now. Tied at 1 in sets, 2-point lead for the Knights. Walters serving. All red to Beatty. Tipped by Evans. Hendricks for the kill shot, and back comes Gwynn. They will go over to the right to Powers, and she is able to find a little opening for the kill, and it's 17-16. And so the Knights, who have had a 3-point lead in the third set, now have seen that lead cut to 1.
Well, again, a roll shot, and I don't know where the blockers were. The ball was right there, net height. That's an easy one to block down.
Serve is in. Knights couldn't get there.
Yeah, just a miscalculation by Hartle. Wondering why she didn't play that. She got her feet to it, but didn't think it was going to stay in.
Walters gets the point, 17-17. All tied now here in the third set. Walters serving again. Hartle had a hard time returning that one. Gwynn will get it over. Little tip there by Gwynn. They'll go to Hendricks. And she'll get the point. 18-17.
You can see that they're going to start picking on Hartle now. She's made a couple mental mistakes there. They've gone after her 2 more times on some kill attempts and actually got the kills.
And a good timeout taken there by the Knights, Mike, as they have now dropped behind after leading 17-14. They have now fallen behind 4 straight points by the Eagles to make it 18-17, Mary Washington. Needless to say, this is a crucial point of this third set.
Oh, it's a huge point. If Mary Washington can come out and get the point, then that sets them up to really get onto a run. Coach Gwynn not only called the timeout to settle their team down, but to freeze Mary Washington a little bit and hopefully get them to serve the ball into the net.
Now remember, in this third set, Mike, the Knights have 3 service errors, 1 long and 2 short, 2 in the net.
Yeah, and again, those are points that
3 gift points, I guess you'd call them, for the Mary Washington Eagles.
There you see they're still stretching Valerie Beatty out. Hopefully she didn't feel anything start to pull too much.
18-17. Ready to go after the timeout now. Eagles 1-point lead and serving. Walters serving. Beatty sets up all red in the back line. Now the Eagles blocked by Evans, but no one can get there for the Knights to scoop it up, and it's now 19-17, Mary Washington.
And again, that's not what you wanted after that timeout. You wanted to be able to be the one to get the attack and get the score.
2-point lead for the Eagles now in this all-important third set. Walters serving. Hosier, little mishit there. All red. Gwynn's going to have to get it over. She does. Here's Hendricks. Blocked, but it goes over. Hendricks gets the point, and suddenly it's a 6-0 run by Mary Washington and a 20-17 lead for the Eagles.
You know, and that net cord giveth and taketh away. We saw the Knights win on a net cord serve. Now they lose the point there. That gives them a 3-point deficit off of a net cord.
Walters serving. Beatty gets it quickly over, and a great play by Valerie Beatty to find a little opening on Mary Washington's side and get a crucial point back for the Knights at 20-18 as Crockett and Tiggs check back in, replacing Beatty and Hartle.
Well, that was just the server admiring her serve there instead of getting back to play defense.
Now Crockett will serve. Mary Washington sets up over the right side, but not able to get there is Skylar Sisk, and can't get the kill shot to go, and now the Knights are right back in it, only down by a point.
Well, a bad attempt on a slide also.
20-19. Crockett serving it again. It goes to Hendricks. Saved by Hosier. Now Tiggs. Now Mary Washington sets up, and they get the point. As that time, Sisk right on top of that kill shot to make it 21-19.
And again, Mary Washington runs that middle just a little bit more than the Knights, and if you can make that connection, you really stress the defense.
2-point lead for the Eagles with Emma Olson serving. Tiggs with a slam, and she gets her spike to go in. It's 21-20.
Well, again, a great little X play or a 1-2 or a bicycle play that the Knights ran there as Emma came up first. Tiggs came in right behind her.
Here comes Gwynn with the serve, trying to tie the game. And that spike is put away by a Skylar assist, the 5'11 freshman, and she makes it 22-20 Eagles. Substitutions on both sides with a 2-point lead now, Mike, in this all-important third set. Each team hoping to take a 2-1 lead in sets. So, serves here for Mary Washington. Knights not able to get that back over. It's 23-20.
Yeah, the pass just wasn't able to be handled. Hotelin was not able to get it right to where Crockett could get it. Crockett made a valiant effort, tried to get it up, but again, just no avail, and a 3-point lead now by the Eagles.
Going to be tough to overcome that, as the Eagles, just as importantly, only need 2 more points for the set victory.
Yeah, and if the Eagles get the set victory, then they get back to what we've termed the good side so far. And not so good for the Knights right now, but you don't, again, want to give a team like the Eagles some momentum. And if they get this game, now they've got 2 sets in a row.
Well, the Knights at one point in the second set, I believe, had a 17-14 lead, Mike, but they've been outscored since then, 9-3.
Well, it all comes back to execution. The Eagles have been able to execute just a little bit better than the Knights, as the Eagles have been able to get the Knights out of system a whole lot more.
Cho will serve. The Eagles only need 2 points for the victory here in set 3. It's going to be all red. And she gets the all-important point on the spike to make it 23-21. Hey, boy, they really needed that point.
Well, that's why Coach Gwynn called the timeout, saying, hey, we got to get a good pass so we can set somebody up.
Hosier serving. And a point there for Mary Washington. Sisk again with the kill shot from the middle. It's 24-21, and now it's set point here for Mary Washington, as it'll be Sisk serving, the freshman.
Well, again, to receive serve is a great way to produce a point.
All red. Tip. Eagles could win with this point. And it's in.
And it looks like the back row of the Knights all thought that was going out, just gave up a little bit too soon on it.
25-21. That's the victory for Mary Washington here in set 3. So suddenly Mary Washington, after falling in set 1, Mike, has won set 2 and set 3, and now a 2-1 lead in sets, and they can win it all here in set 4 upcoming.
Well, again, there's just been a little bit of lackadaisical play it too many times for the Knights. They got a lead, and they said, oh, hey, look, we got the lead. And they really didn't develop that killer instinct to put the hammer down, and they allowed the Eagles back into the game. The Eagles, on the other hand, when they smell blood in the water, they go for the kill.
So obviously the Knights must win set number 4 to force a 5th and deciding set. And that would be amazing if they could do that, not just to win another set against Mary Washington, but you get down to a 15-point 5th set, anything can happen.
Oh, anything happens in the 5th sets. The favorite teams really don't like to see those 5th sets because they understand.
It's a short game, first of all.
Yeah, it's a short game. The rally scoring system, you can get on a lot of runs really quick and be out of the game before you even know it. So the Knights really need, again, start quickly against the Eagles, and if they can do that, that gives them some momentum going into the latter stages of the set, and should have enough confidence to say, hey, you know what, we took a set from them to begin with. Yep. We can take another set from them.
And probably, I guess, some of the Knights probably think we should have taken set 3 with that 17-14 lead.
Yeah, again, it was just a execution letdown. The Eagles were able to get the Knights out of system too much, and the Knights couldn't get back in quick enough on the other hand, the Knights couldn't get the Eagles out of system enough in that third set.
For Mary Washington, I'm sure their head coach, Matt Troy, is thinking, let's get on top of set 4 early and really, lay the hammer down, apply the pressure.
Well, and he's got to have a newfound respect for the Knights team. I'm sure he came in looking at the team score or record and saying, 3-9, we should be able to handle this no problem, and got really surprised in the first set.
Maybe the beneficiary of that's going to be Christopher Newport. I can't imagine they would come in here Friday and take the Knights lightly.
Well, I'm sure that they'll watch this film as the teams have to trade films. They'll watch this and go, you know what, we've got to bring our A game, not only because the Knights play well, but this is a different and physical environment that we've been played in all season long.
New face out there for the Knights for set 4, Alexandria Felkins, a freshman, 6 foot out there now.
And Felkins started in the first couple matches that we saw. Don't know what or the reason why she was pulled out. Don't know if she was a injury that happened, but glad to see her back in. And that the injury, if she did have one, wasn't a long-standing one.
So we are ready to go here in set number 4. Mary Washington leading 2-1 in sets. And again, as we mentioned, Christopher Newport, the opponent on Friday. That's Friday at 5 p.m. We'll have that one for you. Next volleyball match at the Knight Sports Arena featuring the Knights up against Christopher Newport on Friday. In fact, the Knights will be at home the following Friday, Mike, on October the 7th against Frostburg. A lot of home matches in the opening few games, opening few matches of the Capital play for the Knights. Hosier gets it back across. Wow, what a play by the Knights. Knights able to keep it alive. Hendricks with the slam. Knights return it. Setting up Gwynn and blocked by, and I believe that is going to be Sisk at the net for the point.
And that was just, that set was too far outside. There was only one way that Penny could go on that, and it was extreme cross court. Easier to block when you know exactly where the ball is going to go.
But Mike, when it comes to Capital play, a lot of home matches in the first few weeks for the Knights. Today, and also Friday against Christopher Newport, then Frostburg the following Friday.
Yeah, and again,
needless to say, after that, a lot of road matches.
A lot of road matches, and you want to try to get the home wins early. Gives you confidence.
Knights get the point there. Nope, it's going to be a point for Mary Washington, 2-0 Eagles. And so the Eagles, hoping to get off to a good start, have done so here in set 4, serving with a 2-0 lead. And it's Gwynn with a little tip. Mary Washington gets it across. Knights trying to get their first point here in set 4. Nice set. Double hit, I think, was the call.
Yeah, you could see it when it came out of Valerie's hands. It was a 1-2. The right hand came off a little bit before the left hand did.
And that makes it 3-0 Mary Washington. Don't want to fall too far behind, Mike.
No, and I can see that if the Knights don't get a point very quickly within this one or the next one, Coach Wynn's going to have to call a timeout.
Felkins tried to get the slam, but out of bounds, 4-0 Eagles. Hosier to Beatty. It'll be all red. And she gets the point, 4-1.
Again, saw that she took a little bit off of the hit there, and it's catching the Eagles back on their heels.
So the lead right now is 3 for Mary Washington with Gwynn serving. Mary Washington's return out. It's 4-2 now. So just as Mary Washington took a 4-0 lead, they've stumbled a little bit here in the last couple of points. Here's Powers, and unreturnable by Beatty. It's 5-2 Mary Washington.
And the Eagles just ran a nice play. They had the middle right there, almost right beside the outside hitter. Set wasn't too high, so you couldn't double team the outside.
So the lead right now, 3 points for Mary Washington at 5-2. So we'll serve. Hit the net, returned by the Knights. It is Teagues getting it over. And now Powers Little tap shot. Now here's Allred with a slam. Blocked by Mary Washington, and they get the point. And that was a big point for the Eagles, 6-2, stopping Allred at the net.
Yeah, but you saw the Eagles are not paying attention at all to our middle hitter. As soon as the ball came out of Valerie's hands, both of the blockers, the outside and the right side hitter, were down on Allred.
4-point lead now for the Eagles. Beatty almost across the line, and Mary Washington gets the block, and now a 5-point lead.
Again, it's getting into this danger territory. Another point if the Knights lose. Another point, then Coach Gwynn's going to have to call a timeout.
Cho serving 7-2, Mary Washington here in set 4. Beatty sets up Tiggs, but Mary Washington gets the dig, gets it back across. Tiggs, little tap shot. Now Mary Washington has it knocked backwards by Felkins. And Powers gets it over. And the Knights can't get it over. Tiggs tried to swat that over across, but just didn't have enough steam on it behind it. And now it's 8-2, Mike. Mary Washington with a 6-point lead here in this fourth set.
Well, one of the big things we see the difference between the first set and this fourth set is the Knights, again, they're going for the power. Everything's power. Instead of playing it off the blockers' hands, the blockers are getting there. The outside hitters are going to have to understand that they are loading up on them. You're going to have to play it high hands now.
And can the Knights come back from 6 behind here? They took the opening set. Mary Washington's won the last 2 sets to go on top 2-1. And now Mary Washington has taken a quick 8-2 lead here in this fourth set.
Well, we've seen momentum swing back and forth in all the sets. Hopefully the Knights can get it swung back in their favor right now.
So the Knights trailing here 8-2. We mentioned again they'll be hosting Christopher Newport Friday at 5 p.m. We'll have that one for you. And of course Saturday a busy day. Football against Wesley at 1 p.m. You can catch that one. Big webcast. And then following that, soccer doubleheader against Penn State Harrisburg. Men at 5:30. Women Saturday night 8 p.m. Here's Cho serving with an 8-2 lead. Hosier's return, and Beatty couldn't catch up with it. 9-2 now, Mary Washington. Well, this place was really buzzing after that first set victory by the Knights, but Mary Washington has really turned it around since then.
Well, that's the hallmark of a really good team, and that's why they're ranked. They don't let things rattle them, and they're able to come back from deficits.
Allred gets it across. Not a whole lot behind it, though. Now Mary Washington sets up and gets the point. That is Skylar Sisk again with the slam, and the Knights not able to return it, and now they're suddenly behind by 8 at 10-2.
And Coach Gwynn may want to think about sending a sub in, give them the Eagles some type of different look.
Well, I know 25 is a long way away, Mike, but you start to wonder against a quality opponent like Mary Washington, how far behind is too far behind. Returned by the Knights. Falcons, a little mix up there with Beatty. Not sure who was going to take it. They get feet tangled.
I think the feet got tangled. That was the problem.
11-2 now.
And that's what happens when you're coming in from into a game and you haven't had a lot of game experience.
That was Beatty's shot to take, I would imagine. The Falcons initially thought it was going to be hers and backed off, but too late to back off. And now it's a 9-point lead for Mary Washington. Allred goes up high and gets it to go to make it 11-3. Long uphill battle here, though, Mike, for the Knights here in set number 4, down by 8.
And again, you got to hope that the momentum swings back, and hopefully one of your better servers, Hosier, can get the momentum going back in your favor.
A little tip over by Mary Washington's Votavis. Tiggs with a good slam. Ball hits the ceiling fan. That gets a little hoot from the crowd. It's now 11-4.
Yeah, and you're happy if it goes for you like that, but if it happened on our side, you'd be very upset.
So it's 11-4 now. Hosier with the service. 2 points in a row for the Knights. Volkatis gets it across. Allred. Back to Cho now for Mary Washington. Blocked by Tiggs. Swatted home by Powers. That was an impressive spike by Savannah Powers to make it 12-4 Eagles.
Well, again, you see the difference of being in system and being out of system. The Knights just trying to get the ball over any way they can. The Eagles with a forceful attack.
8-point lead again. Sisk serving, and that's a service error by Mary Washington. They haven't had too many of those tonight.
No, and again, now you got to start taking advantage of those errors that Mary Washington's making, because they're not making very many.
Diggs with the serve. Knights trail by 7. And Powers again with the slam. Savannah Powers, the 6-foot freshman from Fairfax, makes it 13-5.
And it looks like the sitter for Mary Washington Olsen really is now starting to figure out the middle blockers of the Knights and got them so confused. They're almost like on a string.
Here comes Powers with the serve. Beatty trying to set up all red. Not much she could do with that. Botekas with a kill, and she gets it to go. So Rachel Vogatatis gets the kill, and suddenly Mary Washington has jumped that lead now to 9. Knights won the opening set 27-25. Then lost the next 2, 25-17, 25-21, and trailing here 14-5 now. And another point for Mary Washington. Things kind of disintegrating here now, Mike, for the Knights, who now trail by 10 here in the 4th set.
Yeah, and it looks like the Knights are just a little bit out of sync, and they're letting it affect them out there on the floor.
Going to check in. Her first appearance tonight, 5'5" junior. Here comes the service by Mary Washington. Beatty tries a little tip over, as does Mary Washington. Botekas, Allred, Dubinsky. Hosier gets it back across. They're setting up Allred again. 2 blockers right there against her, Mike. And that point goes to the Knights. They really worked hard for that point to make it 15-6.
Yeah, and they're going to keep on trying to work that hard. They can't hold anything back. Everything has to be left out on the floor now. They'll have to sell out a lot of people on the floor, and they have to work to get back in the system as quick as possible.
Allred serving. They're going to set up Botekas again, and she goes right into the net. And it's 15-7, so the Knights have 2 straight points, trying to cut into this 10-point lead. They've got it down to 8.
And we'll take anything, any help that Mary Washington will give us.
Allred serves. Here's Botekas again with Hosier with the dig. Here's Allred. Allred to Beatty to Gwynn. Too far. 16-7, Mary Washington.
You know, and I think Gwen's hurt. She's limping around a little bit. Don't know if it's like a back or a groin or a side, but if you watch her move now, Jim, she's not moving like she did in the first couple sets.
Looks like he struggled to get up on that one. 16-7 now. Deneau serves, and it hits the net and goes across. Almost a service error, turns into a gift point for Mary Washington.
And there is nothing you can do about that if you're the Knights. That's just one of those.
Of course, the Knights won set 1 with Dubinsky serving
exactly
like that. So almost, I guess, turnabout, if you will, as Dubinsky spikes and gets the point. Knights have a long uphill battle here, but they have got the point to pull within 9, 17-8. Dubinsky will serve. And that is Hendricks tapping it over.
And there you go. Falcons able to play it off the hand, and that's what we said that the Knights need to do in this set, is start playing it off the hands of the blockers.
17-9, little 2-point run here for the Knights to get within 8 again. Dubinsky served, and there's a point for Leslie Walters at the net for Mary Washington.
And unfortunately, Falcons was just floating on that block attempt instead of getting solid.
18-9, 9-point lead. Mary Washington 7 points away from a match victory. Walters will serve. Beatty sets up Allred, and she gets the point to make it 18-10.
You know, and I think Allred's found a new offensive weapon. That roll shot that she has really been valuable for her this match. It's going to be valuable for her next match also.
Beatty will check out. Serving is Crockett. And Mary Washington will get the point that time as Olsen, facing two Knights, was able to get it across the net, and they were not able to return. It's 19-10.
Yeah, there's got to be something wrong with Gwen a little bit, because on that joust attempt, she really didn't put a lot of physical effort into it.
Olsen serving, and right down the line, missed it. 19-11, very close there, but it's a point for the Knights, and they pull back with an 8 at 19-11. And if they're going to make a charge here, Mike, got to be now. Down by 8. Spiked by Powers. Setting up Allred as Beatty. A little tip, and she gets the point. They went, two blockers went up for expecting a hard shot, and instead they got a soft spike, and it's now 19-12, Mike.
Well, plus the set pulled Allred into the middle of the court. She was able to go up with a 1-foot attack and just roll it in. Again, the outside blockers set up outside, didn't follow the ball.
They were really committed too.
Yeah, they overcommitted. Went to set up where they thought the ball was going instead of following the ball with their eyes. So it's great to see that the Knights were able to take advantage, again, of a small mistake that the Eagles made.
Gwynn will serve, down by 7, the Knights are. Really could use a 4 or 5 point run here as the serve goes across. They'll go to Hendricks, and I think she had a fault. 2 double hit, it's 19-13. And so a little run here by the Knights to pull within 6 after being down at 1 point by 10. Gwynn serving again. Mary Washington somehow was able to get that across. And here's Tiggs for the point. 19-14.
Well, these little serves that Penny Gwynn's serving over, these are almost like middle school serves going over, and it's really throwing the Eagles off.
And so a 10-point lead for the Eagles is suddenly shrank to 5. If you're Mary Washington's coach, another point or two, do you call a timeout?
Oh, definitely. I would only let one more point go before I would call a timeout to try to refocus them and say, hey, you know what? We had this lead. Now we've let it come down to this on service that is not that hard.
So here's Gwynn serving again. Down by 5, the Knights are. Trailing 2-1. Same type of serve. And what a block by the Knights. Tipped over by Powers. Beatty sets up Allred, and she gets the point, it looks like.
Nope. Still playing.
Washington barely got that back over. Here's Beatty serving up Tiggs. Can't get it over. Allred will finally get it over and gets the point out of it.
And again,
wow.
Allred plays it off the hands. The Knights, that's the formula that the Knights have to learn now. We've seen the evolution of the hitters go a little bit on hard to soft. Now they've got to make that evolution of, I need to play off of the blocker's hands.
So the Knights on a big run here after trailing by 10 in this fourth set have cut the lead down to 4. Gwynn serving again. Eagles get it over. Hosier to Beatty to Allred. Powers gets it back across. Hosier sets up Tiggs. Eagles will try Hendricks. There's Beatty right there. Tiggs gets it over. Long point. Who's going to have the advantage? Beatty serving to Allred, setting her up, and she taps it home. Beatty actually called off Allred, because Allred, I think, was prepared to take that, Mike, and Beatty called her off, and Allred with another soft tap to make it 19-16, and there's that timeout by Mary Washington. So a 10-point lead by Mary Washington has been cut all the way to 3. Very similar to last night against Eastern Mennonite when the Knights had a 10-point lead, 24-14, and saw that go all the way down to 24-21.
Now the Knights need to keep playing the way they are, a little scrappy on defense, and not going for the hard kill on every shot. We're seeing that the soft stuff is finding the floor, making the Eagles a little bit confused, but also playing the ball off the hands. So defense is really translating into offense for the Knights.
Do you expect Mary Washington after this timeout to do anything different?
I would look for them really to set the middle if the pass is there. Also, you have Olsen up on the front row. She may go for taking it over on 2.
19-16 is your score. Gwynn serving here for the Knights, who trailed at one point in this fourth set by 10, now only down by 3. Sisk gets it over to Beatty. Knights trying to set up Teagues this time. At the net. Tipped over by Mary Washington. Great save by Hosier. Allred. Shot is up. Allred with a tip, and she gets it.
And again,
Allred didn't hesitate.
The physical nature of Allred at the net.
19-17. A 10-point lead is all the way to 2. Not sure Mary Washington was ready for that serve. Hendricks gets it over. Hosier sets up Teagues. And now it is Powers with a little tip. Beatty will give it over to Teagues. They'll go to Hendricks. And she gets the point for Mary Washington to make it 20-17.
You know, and that's one of those problems with getting so far behind. Now you've expended a lot of energy to bring it back to within 3. We'll have to see now if the Knights can sustain that energy and get the side out right now.
Gwynn checks out. Hoteling is back in, so it's a 3-point lead for Mary Washington. Cho serving. Mary Washington within 5 points of a match victory now. Cho serve. Allred to Beatty to Teagues. Blocked at the net. And it's going to be SVU's point. As the block went out of bounds, it's 20-18, and the Knights are back within 2 with Hosier serving.
If you're the Knights, that's what you wanted to see. You give up a point, you get a point back.
They go over to Powers for the kill. Another great save by the Knights, but not able to return it a second time. As 21-18. It almost seems now, Mike, that every timeout, when possible, Mary Washington is going to either to Hendricks or Powers, their top 2 kill artists.
Yeah, and you get down into crunch time, you go with what you know.
Sisk will serve. It's out. Good decision by Allred to let it go. 21-19. Here comes Teagues to serve now. Little soft serve almost caught Mary Washington napping. And Allred back to Beatty. Over to Allred. Olsen right there to make the scoop. Beatty will set up Teagues this time. Boy, Olsen making some great digs. Beatty to Allred. Across. Blocked by Allred. What a big block. Walters had the kill shot. Allred went up, Mike, for the block. It's 21-20.
Yeah, just a great job by Allred being there and staying stationary on that block.
Teagues serve it again. Knights trying to tie it up. Teagues to Beatty. To Allred again. She got it across, but it's returned by Mary Washington. Dubinsky with a little tap. Mary Washington gets it back across. Beatty sets up Allred again with a tip. Eagles with a kill shot, and they get the point. That was Bocatatis with the score to make it 22-20.
And again, the Knights have to refocus now and get the point right back. Can only allow 1 serve.
2-point lead for the Eagles. Knights have battled back from 10 down to pull within a point, and now trail by 2. Powers serving for Mary Washington. To Dubinsky. Shot too far, 23-20. Dubinsky had a lot of court to work with, just hit that one too hard, Mike, and time out of the court. Now Mary Washington, which had that lead all the way to 21-20, after having a 10-point lead, has now got a couple of points in a row to make it 23-20. And now Mary Washington suddenly is only 2 points away from winning this match.
Well, you talk about the pressure on the ranked team coming in and trying to finish this out, but what about the pressure on the Knights? Having to really perform. You're down by 3 now. You know that if you give something up here, you're at match point. The pressure's really on the Knights now, and they have to just go back to what they've done in practice, rely on that muscle memory, and execute on this one set.
What they could really use maybe as a service error, but we haven't seen too many of those tonight from the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles have done a great job of limiting their service errors. We'd be glad to take a service error, though, right now. Coach Wynn just called her last timeout. The only way she can try to change any momentum right now would be to use a sub.
Powers will serve. Savannah Powers serving for Mary Washington. Crowd making a lot of noise here. Beatty gets it across. Cho with the dig. Over to Vokatakis. And they can't get it across. The Knights not able to stop that kill shot. Suddenly 24-20, and now Mary Washington can win it right here.
You know, and the Knights were there, just not pressing across the net enough on that one, and then couldn't get the ball up quick enough.
Powers serving again. Knights have to get this point here, as Allred with a tip. Cho with a dig. Vokatakis shoots and knocks it over. And it's going to be the Knights finally getting it back over. And the kill shot is in by Walters for the match victory. 25-20. Mary Washington hangs on for dear life in this fourth set. They had a 10-point lead, Mike. It got all the way down to 1 point. And then Mary Washington getting the last 4 points of the set to win the fourth set and win the match 3-1.
Well, that was the problem, the 10-point lead that they got early in that set. Just put them too much in the hole as they tried to dig out of it, expended a lot of energy, got the crowd back into it. If the Knights could ever learn, and I'm sure they will because they're a very young team, but if they could get to the point to where they showed that type of energy at the beginning of sets, it'd keep the crowd into it, and then we'd see reverse scores.
So 25-17, 25-21, and 25-20, the winning sets by Mary Washington after the Knights had won the opening set and taken a 1-0 lead in sets. Mary Washington rebounds to win the next 3 sets. A great effort tonight by the Knights as they drop to 3-10, and Mary Washington improves to 16-1. But a great effort by the Knights against certainly one of the top teams, maybe the best team in the Capital Conference.
Well, a huge effort, and that just goes to show them and should build their confidence that they can play with anybody in their conference. Because now you got the number 14 team coming in. You just had the number 17 team in the nation coming in. Now you got the number 14 team coming in. Christopher Newport may be a little bit more physical in nature than Mary Washington, but skill-wise, they're really close. So the Knights know what they're going to be up against on Friday.
A little confidence building for the Knights.
I would think so.
Yeah, so, and as you mentioned, you really need to win home matches, and I know it's tough to open up against Mary Washington, followed by CNU, but that's the schedule draw, and the Knights, I'm sure the coaches will tell you, Mike, that we don't want to come close. We want to win.
Yeah, Coach Gwynn, secretly deep down, she's proud of the way that they played, but she's very disappointed, especially after that first set, and she knows, and I'll tell her after the match here when we're done, I believe that the Knights should have beat them. If there was just too much getting down and digging themselves a hole. But I think the Knights know, and I think Mary Washington knows that the scores could have been really reversed.
Well, you look at 2 crucial areas of sets 3 and set 4. In set 3, the Knights actually had a 17-14 lead, and Mary Washington was able to come back from that and win set 3. And, of course, after leading by 10, they saw a 10-point lead go all the way to 1. So at one point, the Knights were only down 21-20 in set 4. So they had their chances in both set 3 and set 4 to maybe be the one to win 3-1 in sets and not lose 3-1 in sets.
Well, again, a very young team. I know we can look on the roster and you see juniors and sophomores and all, but
a lot of freshmen.
A lot of freshmen, but a lot of new faces. There's not a lot of people out there that played together last year. So everybody's trying to learn not only what they need to do on the court, but they're trying to learn the system that Coach Gwynn wants to put into place. The more continuity we can get with players staying and playing 2, 3, 4 years, the more we're going to see successes and get to the point where we're competing for conference championships and also getting into national rankings.
And no rest for the weary in about, less than 48 hours now. Again, Friday, 5 p.m. They've got Christopher Newport coming to town, and you just hope that Gwynn and Beatty and some of the other Knights are ready to play on Friday.
Well, they'll get back into the training room, get all the nicks and bruises taken care of. I don't think any one of them is going to want to sit out against CNU. That's why you go to college to play athletics. You want to play against the best, and the Capital Athletic Conference offers some of the best in all the sports. Like I said, you just played the number 17 team in the nation. Now you got number 14 coming in.
So that'll wrap things up here from the Knight Sports Arena. Again, a 3-1 victory in sets for Mary Washington over a very game and very tough Southern Virginia team. Don't forget, next volleyball match will be webcasting. Will be coming up Friday at 5 o'clock, Friday 5 p.m. with Christopher Newport, the opponent. So join us for that coming up on Friday, women's volleyball here from the Knight Sports Arena. That's going to wrap things up here from the Knight Sports Arena. For Mike Harmon and all the crew, I'm Jim Bresnahan. Thanks again for joining us tonight.